Hey guys, Steve Welch here, Beeman Toyota in Nashville. I'm coming to you from our used car lot, actually. Why? Because I wanted to, and it's kind of rainy out there, so it's a little bit wet. But wanted to have a conversation with you guys, and I've been trying to figure out a way to do this, and I think I might have figured it out. But wanted to talk to you about the market addendums and what exactly a market addendum is, and why there are some dealerships doing them and why there are some like us who are not. Main reason is, and this is gonna kind of help you, is that there are a lot of dealerships out there that are about the now. There are a lot of dealerships out there that have been around for a while and are about the future. We're trying to look towards the future. So I don't want to sell you one car, I want to sell you 10. Just not all at the same time, because I don't have that many to sell you probably, but but I want to sell you more than one car. What's happening with the market addendum, and what a lot of these dealerships aren't going to realize in this market addendum, is that they're going to charge you 10, 12, 15, 20 more $1,000 for a car because they can. All right, so here's kind of the rundown of it. Is a market addendum illegal? No, it's not. You can charge whatever the market will bear for a car. Is it against rules with manufacturers? It's not. You can charge whatever you can get for the car. MSRP means manufacturer suggested retail price, right? If you're going into a spot for a pair of jeans and it says MSRP $70, but it's the hottest jeans out there and they're charging $100 for them, can they do that? Sure. MSRP means absolutely nothing, right? So that being said, what can you do, right? What can you do about it? What power do you have with the market addendums? And that's kind of what I'm hoping this video could help some people do, right? So the power that you have is to spread the word. Find the dealerships that are not charging the market addendum and buy from them. All right, so the dealerships that want to have your business, that want to keep your business, that want to keep you as a customer are really the ones that aren't charging them. Now, I know the other dealership side of it, and they're saying, well, we have to charge it because we're not selling as many cars and we can't afford to keep the lights on and keep our people paid and things like that if we don't charge the market addendum. I understand that too. I mean, but here's the thing. The video that I'm making right now is to help the customer. All right, so if you decide that you really want that whatever, that F-150, that whatever, and they're charging you a $20,000 market addendum, and you're like, you know what, I want the vehicle more than I want my money, buy it. And that's what's happening. That's the reason the market addendums are working, is because they're not deterring customers. People, and I mean that as a whole. I don't mean that as a there are individual customers that are like, see ya, and they're just, they come over and they talk to me, and the first thing they say is, are you charging the market addendum? And they know exactly what it is. Are you charging a markup on your cars? And they know exactly what it is. So that's something that people are doing. Now, a special car, they're, something that's just really, really rare, sure. Used cars are market priced, right? So whatever they have to buy it for kind of determines what they can sell it for. Used cars are a different breed. New cars are new cars, all right? So follow me there. So part of what I wanted to do with this thing is, if you guys, I don't care where you are, especially in the US, of course, but put in the comments for me if you found another dealership that is not charging the market addendum. All right, so put in, and I know those dealerships will love to be singled out, so put it in there. I want to do a video so that I can actually do another one where I come through and I'm going to specifically call out these dealerships that are not doing the market addendum, because I think it's the right way to do it. So if you put in the comments, put the name of the dealership and the location. All right, so if you know of a dealership that's not doing the market addendums that you went to, and like I said, you might not get a discount, but I'm talking about not marking it over MSRP. I want you guys to tell me, put it in the comments, the name and the location of it. I'm going to try to put all that together, but definitely check the comments on this one. So hopefully we get a lot of those out there so I can put together a video of dealerships that are not charging the market addendum. I think it's important. So, and it's one of the ways that we can get to where nobody does. All right. So I don't care if it's Toyota. I don't care if it's, you know, Dodge, Ford, whatever, Ram, Ford, whatever it is. I don't care. I want to know, any dealership that you found that has new cars that's not charging the market addendum. All right. So here's the next part. I wanted to tell you guys why the market addendum is worse for you than you thought. All right. And a lot of people are like, well, it's bad enough that I'm spending 10 grand over a sticker, but now how's it worse? There are ways that this is worse for you and you don't even realize it. So first off, let's use that number. Let's use 10 grand. All right. So if you're using a $10,000 number for a market addendum and that vehicle is marked up $10,000 over MSRP, don't care what the MSRP is at this point for this purpose, right? So that $10,000 is taxed. Everybody, I believe, lives in a spot where the price you pay for a car is taxed. Now, they're taxed at different rates. You might have, I think, like there's a spot in Alabama or Georgia, whatever, where it's like 3% or something like that. And then you got, 7% in Tennessee. I think Kentucky 6%. I think Michigan 6%. But they're, realistically, let's call it somewhere between 3% and 10% that you're charged in tax, right? So if you're charged 10% on a $10,000 market addendum, you're not only paying a $10,000 market addendum, you're paying $1,000 in tax. If it's at 5%, you're paying another $500 in tax. So you didn't just get charged 10, you got charged another 5 for tax. That's something people aren't thinking about. What's the other part? Well, what about your interest rate, down payment? Those things are coming into play too. So banks look at loan to value. All right. And that's what helps determine how much of a risk the loan is. Right. So if you come and you put 20% down on a car, you're usually a very low risk. The chances of you not paying off that car is pretty much zero, right? With, a few extenuating circumstances. But if you put 0 down on a car and go 84 months, well, man, your interest rate, that goes up on you, right? Why? Because you're a bigger risk, because you're going to have taxes on top of that. You're going to have that. So by the time you get to and then 0 down, 84 months, longer term, longer to pay off, the chances of you being upside down are a lot higher. So if you were to get in an accident, the insurance company might not pay it off. Are you going to pay off the extra $6,000 on a car you don't own anymore? Or, so you have to look at it like a banker. So when you look at it like a banker, they're going, okay, well, if there's this long-term loan, or if you're so much higher over a loan to value, they're going to charge you a higher interest rate. They have to. It's part of their business model. So more risk equals more reward. If they're going to risk giving you that much money, they need more reward back, because there's going to be some people that don't pay. Business, right? So kind of the way that I always talk to you guys is straight. So think about this. If you pay $10,000 over, right, on, let's say it's a $40,000 car, right, you're 20% over loan to value plus your taxes. Well, now you're talking about being 140% or something. I mean, in my math, I'm doing it in my head, so I might be a little off. Don't beat me up for that. If you want to correct me, feel free. But I think I'm about right. So if you're going to be at 150% loan to value, well, now you got to come with 20 grand down, 30 grand down. Why? Because banks like to usually see it no more than about 130% or 120%, depending on your credit. You got to have really good credit for that. Sometimes if you're, you might have a 650 credit score, not be bad, but not be great. And the bank might say, well, no, I want you to be at 80% loan to value. That doesn't mean 80% of what they sold it for, because on a new car, the banks tend to use MSRP as your value, right? So on a new car, if you're using MSRP as your value on a new car, and you're going, okay, so the value's this, they've marked it up 20 grand, and I need to be at 80% of that. I mean, there's some math involved there, and I'm not going to do all that in my head, but what do you need, a $30,000 down payment? Because they're charging a $20,000 markup. You need to be at 80%. You're on a $20,000 car, or $30,000 car, and you need, so now you need $30,000 down, which it would have been, I mean, you see how this kind of can spiral. So are banks picking up some of these higher because of the, you're trying, some dealerships are trying to use kind of like the market value, meaning the addendum value and stuff like that. But as far as I know, on a new car, the banks are still using MSRP. So just realize that you're going to get charged a higher interest rate because you're technically a bigger risk, because even if you have a $10,000 market addendum, you put $10,000 down, you're financing MSRP. Guess what? There's your answer, right? So here's kind of the kicker. So I told you I'm going to try to help. So first off, I would call every dealership that's in your area and ask each one of them, do you charge the market addendum? As soon as you ask it that way, you're probably going to get one of just a couple of responses. They'll probably say yes and wait for you to hang up. They'll say no and wait for you to ask your next question. They might just hang up on you without saying anything, because they figure what you're doing is you're shopping for not even a deal. You're shopping for something that's reasonable, right? So if that's the case, right, you'll find out a lot. So, and if they say, no, we're not charging the market addendum, great. At least you're getting your leg up there, right? So the other thing to do is once you start calling around and you start finding what inventory they have and stuff like that, ask them how many cars they have coming in, things along those lines. It's going to get you in a better spot to know what you might have to choose from. But it's just, and I'll tell you, there's a lot of people that'll ask me this on the market addendum part of it. They'll be like, is anybody around you not charging the market addendum? If they have, I haven't found it yet. All right. So, or if they're not, I haven't found it yet. So there's a lot of people are asking that question about, all right, so it's you and who else? Who else is not charging the market addendum? In this area, I don't know of any. Now, might there be other brands? I mean, I'm talking within our brand. Might there be other brands? Who knows? Right. So let's figure this out. So what's this going to do to the future? All right. So this is the next part of what the market addendum is going to do to you. All right. So we talked about that it's going to make you pay more in taxes, right? It's going to make you obviously have a higher interest rate. But now it's going to come into the part that nobody else is thinking about right now, or very few people seem to, and it's your trade-in value, right? So let's say all this gets hashed out. Let's say it's 2 years from now and everything's back to normal, and thank God we've made it. All right. You paid 20 grand over for your car. You've been making your $600 payment, right? $500 payment, whatever it is, for the last 2 years. You've paid off, 10 grand off of your car. You had a $20,000 market addendum plus taxes plus your financing. You are so upside down in your car because now we're back to normal and car prices have normalized. So now we're back to normal and you've got a loan on your car that you are so far upside down in. Guess what? You own it till you pay it off. Or you're going to be carrying this negative to the next car, to the next car, to the next car. How often do you trade cars? Now some people are leasing their cars just for that purpose. And they're saying, look, at least after 3 years, I'm out of it and I'm zero upside down. True. But still, if the market addendum's attached to a lease, you're still paying a higher lease rate for the time that you have the car because it's based off the price of the car. So people aren't thinking about the end of this either that's coming to. So kind of the whole reason I'm making this video is to try to help you guys do whatever you can to find a dealership that will not charge the market addendum. which is the markup, right? Find a vehicle or find a dealership that will not. And like I said, check the comments on this vehicle or on this video, because I'm hoping people will start to add below this vehicle. Said vehicle again. Below this video, what other dealerships around are doing, and you know, I always tell people, look, as long as your comments don't swear and they're clean and they're not berating anybody or anything like that, and they don't include links, I won't delete any comments. So put a comment down there. Even if they're a competitor, great, I don't care. If they're not charging the market addendum and you got a vehicle at MSRP and didn't have to fight for it, or maybe a minimal fight, put your experience down there if it comes to that. But especially if they just said, no, we just don't charge this, I want to have a list of those so that we can, you know, all kind of help each other out when it comes to making sure you're taken care of. So like I said, the other reason that, you know, I don't want people paying the market addendum is because I hope you come and see me for your next car. And it might not be this one. It might be 3 years from now, and you come and you see me and you buy your next car. If you paid this $10,000 market addendum or $20,000 market addendum, I've got to figure out a way to help you get out of what they did to you. I'd much rather help you now to get out of what they did to you by not having them do it. So hopefully this helps you guys out. Let's put that information down there. Let's create a little bit of a hopefully a little frenzy. Definitely share this video so that other people can put their experience down there. But yeah, I don't want you guys to be that far upside down on a vehicle, pay money that you don't have to pay. On the market addendums, I've seen as much as $100,000 market addendums on certain vehicles, and it is blowing my mind. I think the biggest part that's blowing my mind is that people are paying it. But you know, and if you pay cash for a car, then obviously the upside downness of it, and the, you know, or if you put 50% down, then none of that's going to come into play for that. But you still paid too much for the car, guys. So hopefully I've helped you guys out. If I did, give me a thumbs up. If you know you guys are somebody that's out there looking, you know, maybe put in the comments and say, hey, I'm looking in Dallas, Texas, or I'm looking in whatever, and maybe somebody out there can help you out, and you know, scroll the comments and you know, maybe put the dealership that they worked with, if it's, you know, in that general, you know, area, or you know, maybe you drive a couple hours. I mean, I'd drive 2 hours to save 10 grand. You know, if it was me and I was buying whatever I was buying, as long as it wasn't like a house, you know, or you can move it, right? But, you know, that's what I would do. So definitely reach out to me here at the dealership. If you want to, you can always email me at buyatoyotanashville@yahoo.com, buyatoyotanashville@yahoo.com. That'll come directly to me. If you have any questions, or if you just want to send it that way instead of putting it on the comments, you can do that too. But comment is going to help everybody, so feel free to do that. But hopefully I've helped you guys out. Steve Welsh, Beam Toyota, coming to you from a used car in downtown Nashville. So you guys have a great time, and hopefully this New Year's great for you. Come to you on New Year's Day, 1/1 of 22. Hoping that 22 is a dramatically different year than 21. But we're going to see, right? We're going to see what's going to go on, and I hope that everybody has a great day. Definitely like, subscribe. I appreciate every one of you guys. Look forward to the new videos coming forward here in the new year. Steve Welsh, Beam Toyota, downtown Nashville. You guys have a great one.